Guys, I've done too much doom scrolling, and I've completely lost my ability to critically think, and I need to upload a video, but I can't beat TDX. Wait, what do you do when you lose your ability to critically think? Use ChatGPT. So I wonder if I ask ChatGPT to give me a layout to solo TDX, would I be able to win? Well, there's only one way to find out. So it actually gives me a pretty good layout composing of laser gunner, rail gunner, EDDJ, medic, armored factory, or AA turret, juggernaut, or other strong DPS, which is actually not bad. And it also gives us a strategy which we will be using later on in the video. The next thing I asked ChatGPT was what map I should play on, and ChatGPT recommended that I play on base plate. So I asked ChatGPT for something easier, and it gave me Crossroads, Grasslands, Winter Stronghold, and Farmlands. I asked ChatGPT one last time and actually got maps in TDX, and I decided to do block shout. So loading into the game, my first step was to place down a laser gunner that covers as much of the path as possible, and I'm going to take some liberties here and assume it wants me to get 2-2, and that's exactly what I did. I got a laser gunner and got it to 2-2. An optional step I did was place down an armored factory as a bait tower using the AF strat. Now I don't know if it's just me, but what the heck is an AF strat? Leave a comment down below if you made the AF strat. Anyways, I did place down an armored factory close to the path as bait, and it actually works later on. Moving to waves 6 to 12, it says upgrade your laser gunner to get stealth detection, which doesn't make sense, as laser gunner already has stealth detection, so I'm just gonna assume it's telling me to get 2-3, so I will do that. Also in the strategy, it says place down a medic if you see towers taking damage, and towers were taking damage, so I placed down a medic. The next thing to do was place down an EDDJ near my DPS towers, but I didn't have any towers besides laser gunner, so I just placed it near there. At this point, I was leaking, and I panicked and looked at the waves 13 to 28 steps, and it said begin placing my armored factories and start stacking them at top half, so I placed down a bunch of level 0 armored factories and got them eventually to 1-0, but despite my efforts, I died. So with the strategy and layout given from ChatGPT, it is not possible to win. I want to follow the strategy as one-to-one as possible, because if I didn't, it'd kind of be like messing with the purpose of the video. So yeah, ChatGPT can't be expert mode. But what about intermediate mode? Intermediate mode is probably one of the easiest modes in tower defense history. You can beat it with ranger only. So can ChatGPT beat intermediate mode? If it doesn't, then dang, that's crazy. But let's find out, guys. So ChatGPT gives me a pretty good layout again for intermediate mode, consisting of John, Barracks, EDDJ, Missile Trooper, Operator, and Farm. Once again, ChatGPT provides a strategy, although it's less vague, so hopefully I can win. Let's speedrun this, because I've spent 2 weeks editing this video, and it should have not taken this long. But for the early game, I was encouraged to place John or Barracks, and I placed down John to handle the first few waves. Then I got an operator at 3-2 to deal with the hidden enemies, and I did place down a bunch of 2-0 farms, as it's the April Fool's update, so getting bottom path farm is very expensive, so I just stuck with 2-0. Going into the mid game, I placed down a Missile Trooper and spent a bit of time maxing that out, and I also upgraded my operator to max level, and I started to place Barracks and got one bottom path max and got a bunch of my Barracks to 4-2. For the Predator wave, I was told to spam cheap towers like John to bait Predator, and it was working as you would imagine. While doing this boss fight, I was also spamming Missile Troopers top path max, as that would be my main DPS for the Eradicator that would come in a few waves. Wave 32 comes around and Eradicator spawns, and then he dies. But he did actually make it pretty far considering where my damage towers were. So, can ChatGPT beat TDX? Oh, no, definitely not. You kind of have to assume for a lot of things. The layouts ChatGPT gives you are actually pretty good, but the strategy they also give you is very, very bad. At the end of the day, the best way to beat a tower defense game is using your brains, and I don't think anyone's using ChatGPT for a TDX strategy or any other tower defense game strategy out there. So yeah, if you like this video, consider subscribing, because at 11,250 subscribers, I will be doing a scenario where I take over the world. I'm going to leave that vague so you guys have to subscribe to find out.